Right, zvisinei ameno kuti zvii zvaakuitikapo, but I think kuti we are good to go.
Breaking up.
Mukoma teach. Aikas. Mukoma teach, please. Ndokumbira kuti mudzime wireless yenyu kwamuri ikoko kuitira kuti tinzwanane kuno kwanditika. Sally, can you hear me there?
Yes, I can hear you beautifully now.
Beautifully, yeah. Mukoma Teach's radio was still on there, so hopefully you sort that out. Mukoma Wilbert, sorry, I cut you off there as you're still talking because I was trying to get others in as well because I don't know what was happening here. I couldn't get others in. But I'm sure we are good to go now. I've tweaked something Kunokuma Studios. I think we are good to go. Chief Soshi and Anamsko Shamama Taura hapo. Mukoma Wilbert, I think kuti mopeds Shamama Kutaura before we go kuna Sally.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is the bond notes. This regime is determined to introduce them because they are definitely desperate. But the truth of the matter is, the minute they introduce them, the temptation for them to increase the amount of money in the system will be irresistible. So you'll find there will be more bond notes flooding the system, the economy, and the rate of exchange now is 1:2 to a US dollar, but that is not sustainable. Because the more bond notes you start to print and produce, the inflation will start cutting in. Because the amount of money, if it exceeds the amount of goods that are available, that is what will push the price in terms of the amount of money you pay for a particular commodity up, and it causes inflation. And particularly, it will be more noticeable to those who have got to go out, which is the majority of people, go out outside the country to order their stuff, the vendors. You cannot go to South Africa or Botswana and pay with bond notes because those two countries will not accept them. So you need US dollars. And you find the bank will now become more increasingly reluctant to give you the US dollars. So you have to go on the black market. And on the black market, invariably, you'll find people will start saying, well, instead of 1:1, give me 2 bond notes and I'll give you a US dollar. And in no time at all, that will start escalating and get worse and worse and worse. And that's where we'll be going back where we were to the days of the hyperinflation, ending up in 2008, where the inflation rate was 500 billion%. Which is what is the problem here.
Well, which is the problem here. Thank you so much, Mukoma Wilbert. Kuno changu tibata, thank you so much. We thought we would talk about this bond imminent introduction there in Zimbabwe there. And as we are told that this morning, quite kwa meeting ku Rainbow Tower Hotel uko vachiona kuti vanga implement rini ma bond notes iyayaya, but I think it will be very, very, very soon. I can't see them passing the 31st of October. Sally, what's your take on this one?
Very expensive toilet paper.
Right.
I seriously, right from the beginning, I don't see how it's going to work. I don't see how it's going to do anything good for Zimbabwe whatsoever. 1 minute they're saying it's going to be the local currency, then they're saying no, it's only for business. Then it's a 200 million loan supposedly, but then they're only printing 75 million or something. I don't know what's going on, seriously.
Sally, I don't know if you were listening what I was saying, that the shortage of money, it's so severe. I didn't know about that. You go in a supermarket.
Yes.
Let's go. You
Yes.
go to TM or to OK to buy stuff, and then you've got 4 or 5 people there waiting by the till, asking you whether you're buying with cash or using a card. The moment you tell them
Yeah.
you're paying with cash, they are offering you bribes so that they can use their card, and in turn you
Yes.
give them cash, hard cash. I mean, I'm thinking maybe if the bond notes is introduced, that can ease things, isn't it?
No ways. It's going to make things worse. It's going to make things way, way worse because, you know, the American dollar, because they have used it as the currency, okay, is so sought after that the bribery and corruption and stuff that's going to go with that is going to be unbelievable. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be worse than 2009. It's going to be worse than that, okay? Way worse. And I mean, the country is already sunk so low, okay? Look, okay, the rand is not stable, but at least it's available, okay? And it's a currency, okay? I mean, it's a currency. It's an international currency. At least you can export with it, okay? Because it's low valuation or whatever you want to call it. So it makes your exports more agreeable on the international market. The currency is available. It's there, okay? I mean, you're bringing in this bond notes. Who can use them? Seriously, what can you do with them? For me, it's just very expensive toilet paper. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a hoax. It really, really is. It's a joke. And once again, the Zimbabwean people are the ones that are going to pay for it.
That's are going to pay for it. Thank you so much, sir. Mukoma Tichi Kurisego ku London.
Tinongoshingirira nekunhekaira nekutekerera mukoma.
No, I'm fine. As you can see, I'm well. And I heard that you did a wonderful job whilst I was away. So for that, I thank you guys.
Thank you.
So what's your take on this one, Mkoma Tiche? When Tipei kandi mune information, which day are we going to see these bond notes trading in Zimbabwe?
I think by the coming weekend, not this one, the one after this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. I think they will be live then.
So a good thing?
Absolutely not a good thing as far as I am concerned, if all that we are hearing is what it is. But the problem is that if it was a good thing and productive and sellable, they would be selling it to us. They are being very cagey about exactly the rollout program or what legal framework they're going to use to roll them out. So are they going to amend the Reserve Bank Act? What are they going to do? Are they going to just issue them in the true nature of bond notes, which is that they mature after a given number of years, and as is done with all the types of instruments that are bought by institutional investors? Maybe not. Are they going to use them as currency? More than likely. If they're going to use them as currency, it means then they will be covered already under the Reserve Bank Act in terms of its powers to manufacture money. And that means that they will be exactly the same as bond, what do you call them, bearer checks. Just that they've got these fancy name bond notes to disguise them. But the truth of the matter is that what you really will have, if they just dare to issue them as currency and under the current legal framework, it means that then they will be actually bearer checks. So, as it is, if they say they are going to come at par with the US dollars, it means that you will be giving up money that you can trade with for your exports that they think they are promoting. for money that you cannot use to import the raw materials and the spare parts and machinery that you require to manufacture your export products. So at the end of the day, there is a lot of negative factors to consider about it all. And I can't wait to hear what this breakfast that they're going to have with the ZNCC, the Zimbabwe National Chambers of Commerce, is going to come out with. But if you look at it, even there at the ZNCC, they're already saying that your investment to attend that breakfast is $50. Why don't they use that as a launch point and say 50 bond notes? Why don't they just say, okay, attending that breakfast meeting where Mangunja will be answering to the members of the Chambers of Commerce whatever queries they have, and you see, they're having a breakfast to discuss and get answers from Reserve Bank. Yet they are the people that are expected to benefit from it by exporting more. So if the industry is not even aware what it really means, that they're having to call Mangunja to a breakfast meeting to explain himself on the eve of the launch of the bond notes, how will then we expect that those people will be able to meet export targets that will back up whatever they are trying to say Afrexim Bank is going to give them. It just doesn't make any sense. If you look at recently, Saudi Arabia issued a 175 billion bond paper, and the same thing Argentina did 165, which were internationally subscribed by international investors, which means people that are always trading in these kind of instruments, people who've got money that they need to put somewhere because they just can't keep it in the bank, they want it to be earning something. So people like pension schemes, people like institutional investors, people like corporate investors, they've got money, they make profits, and those profits that are put aside as reserves cannot just sit in the bank and lose value, so they have to use them to make even more money. That's how the money circulates in the world. So if they're going to be using bond notes to promote exports for people exporting, first we are not told which industries are targeted and what we will be exporting to which countries, in what volumes, at what value per annum or per quarter, or there's no indication of anything of that to say, okay, we have 24 million or 200 million that Afrexim Bank is going to give us, but we are anticipating that there will be an output from our export producers or whatever they produce of a value of so much or a volume of so much, which is in demand to such markets, which is covered by these letters of credit that will be payable at site or 30-day LCs or 90-day LCs or bills of acceptance. This is what economics is about. So you now know that we have secure markets of secure volumes of a secure value of denominated hard currency. So either pound or euro.
We have listened to better music. So we have seen better things. We've been to it all. Zimnet Radio all the way.
There's nothing of that kind of information. We've been waiting for that information to analyze it, to see if the maths work. Right now, we can't even make mathematical prognosis of whether they're valuable or they're valid, they can work, it's feasible or it's not feasible. The industry and commerce are in the dark. They don't know whether it's feasible or not feasible. But there are no facts and figures supporting it other than to say we are going to issue bond notes to alleviate cash shortages. Now, if you are going to alleviate cash shortages, that has got absolutely nothing to do with export incentive. You are just alleviating Teacher who's going to get his $50 wage at the end of the week from the bank. That's what you are alleviating. That doesn't increase foreign currency earning into the country. It doesn't change anything. So at the end of the day, the problem that they really have is that the tobacco industry or the tobacco season has come to an end. So the flows of tobacco that they've been relying on are coming to an end. And going into the final quarter, they've got nothing to back up anything at all. Because the tobacco industry season is over now. So the proceeds from tobacco are going to die down. And you can see they've gone back to announcing against civil servants. So the past 2 months, we stopped talking about civil servant salaries being moved, that they've gone back to that. So you can see that bond notes are coming at the same time that they've gone back to moving around the debts for civil servants pay. Now, why should they be moving around debts for civil servants pay if bond notes are coming? They should simply be paid in bond notes. End of story. So there's just too many, not grey, but really dark areas that we can't fathom. What are they trying to do? The legal framework is not clear. The numbers don't add up. They don't make sense. We're just guessing. So it's a bit of a hide and seek at the moment.
It's a bit of a hide and seek. But what I don't get, to be honest with you, kuti government say nobody has come up with this explanation that this is not workable, where say they've just been succumbed to this issue bond. Surely there's something in it for them.
No, this is just a revival of gonomics. We are talking about this as Beara James Mukoma. This is gonomics where the government wants to be able to print money. That's it. Beyond that, first of all, go backwards and see when they launched the Beara James. What did they say they were doing? And how temporary they're supposed to be? That's why they didn't expire it. It was supposed to be just an interim measure once they fixed whatever it was that was causing the shortages or the loss of value of the Zimbabwe dollar. But we ended up with the Zimbabwe dollar being completely written off and people losing all their life savings and some losing their pensions. It's exactly the same reasons that they're giving now, that it's a temporary measure. Bond notes are not permanent. Because they want to give them an expiry date. And if they give them an expiry date, what they will do is ultimately, when you are all settled with huge sackloads of bond notes, then they demonetize them, as they did the Zimbabwe dollar. They used their numbers in parliament to just pass a law. Boom, 1.2 billion that was used to give to commercial farmers, new commercial farmers, that inherited or acquired farms, lock, stock and barrel, that were already viable, running businesses with the goodwill and reputation.
24/7 Zimnet Radio. Number one.
They were failing as commercial farmers, and they got all these inputs from Gono in what we were saying were extra fiscal policies that the Reserve Bank had got itself involved in. And at the end of the day, what has happened is that 1.2 billion was given out as supporting those people to be able to farm. And right now, those people are not exporting. If they were exporting, would be earning billions of dollars, as the previous businesses that were there used to do. So, for whatever reason, they ended up not being able to pay back that money to the Reserve Bank, and the Reserve Bank ended up in deficit. And it ended up in deficit to the local market in terms of the people's savings that they had taken to be able to take that money and go and buy whatever they gave each other. And to get that debt, the local debt out, they had to come up with an act of parliament to write off that 1.2 billion. People made a halabaloo about it. And then they went quiet, like all Zimbabwe. They were very meek. We ended up just letting it go. 1.2 billion was written off just like that in one day. The legislators voted and it was written off.
Right, okay, mukoma tichibata makadaro. Regai ndikumbire ruregerero kuna vamoyo ku Australia uko. Vamoyo, hopefully, I'm hoping that you are listening right now. I know that you are trying to call me. I've got a problem. I cannot take my phone calls arikuya mchishandisa your mobile or your landline at the moment. I'm trying to work out why I'm not able to pick up phone irikuya yachaiwa to our landline. It's only Skype. Skype is only accepting. So Vamoyo kana mini Skype, tufonere in Skype, so that we can hear what you got to say. Tufonere in Skype. Otherwise, I know you're trying with your mobile, you're trying with your landline, but unfortunately, I'm not in a position to pick up the call at the moment. regai ndidai so ndipopinda mushiro
We've listened to better music. We have seen better things. We've been to it all. Zimnet Radio, all the way.
Make the whole world know about your business. Advertise with Zimnet Radio. Email marketing@zimnetradio.com.
The ultimate hit music station, Zimnet Radio, blending the hottest audio.
Anoreketa zvemabondi notes, toda kuunza mabondi notes munyika, toda kuunza mabondi notes. Ana anofunga kuti kutonge nyika kutonge mamhatso dzawo here dzaanonga eitonga madzimai. Munhu akati bii nemukadzi mumhatso mumuka mangwani moti nyamashi ndakuchiche dhore mhatso ndoisava ndo mutongero munoita nyikawo. Kudai kuri kuti ikonomi yenyika necurrency yenyika inondoramba kuzwi ndoda kutogadzira mari yangu yakafanana ne-US dollar. Taida tichitambudzika here. Kwa hino maendelei pa US dollar madiri kugadzira yakafanana ne-Kuwait dina inoite 1:3.6 US dollar. Motogadzira zve the strongest currency. Kana mwaremba kutonga nyika musikakoni kurana economy, garai pashi, munogara pashi, anokona kutorana economy orana economy. Haikona kuita zviro zvenyu zvekurota mwakaata kumamhatso kwenyu mweya mwoda kuimposa zviro panyika. Mwaremba endai mwata mwazwa. Atidi zviro zvisina shwiro zvekuswara mweiti nyangadza mweigadzira mabondi notes. Imari dzaanhu dzamunyika yemuru kutonga nyika ina anhu. Haikona hamusi kutonga nyika ina anhu asika ane misoro isikafungi. Kana musikachadi zvekutonga nyika ibvaipo pazvigaropo. Kana mweiti kwai mwakatosunungura nyika endai mwoisungira pamuti pacho mwakaitsura muone kuti tinoisiya iripo here.
Right, zvisineika ndataura ndikati nini kana muruda kutibata kunoku I think kuti ndirikukwanisa kutora vari kufona vachishandisa Skype at the moment, trying to find out why we can't take calls coming out from a landline or a mobile, but zvisinei Skype is working perfectly. If you want to get in touch using our Skype. Kana usina Skype yedu Skype ID at Zimnet Main Radio, Zimnet Main Radio. Just request to be our friend, like what Mukanya has just done, and I've managed to pick up the phone call. Saka ma landline nema mobile chete arikunetsa, but Skype is working perfectly for me. Right, ndokuti ndite kuti tite move on. Andikuza kuti pana chips oshe na mkoma Wilbert na Sali. Pane ere achine anything to say about this imminent introduction of bond notes ku Zimbabwe now, kana kuti ndobvunza wamukanya ndoenderera mberi zvamune chirongwa. Wanna ask you guys another question here. Anyone wants to add or subtract to what Mukoma teacher has been saying as well on that?
My only comment there, DJ, is that I think we discussed this point before.
Yes,
but I think it's important to remind everybody on the panel that we should really have a discussion, So if you are going to make a point, make 1 or 2 points, and then people can follow up on it. Because if you bundle all your points into 20 points, nobody will ever follow up on it, and therefore then the issue will be lost again.
Right, it's a fair point. Yeah. Fair point, Mkoma Wilbert. Anyhow, Mkanya.
Makadiko DJ.
Tinofara chose Mkanya, we just want to move on. I know ndakambotaura nemi the other day. We are told kuti kwakuine meeting kwa Harare uko this afternoon discussing the final touches of the bond notes. Anything you want to say on that, or should we just move on?
Ndaona makuseni muteri news makanza and CZ airi kuramba here.
Okay.
So I still have a hope yekuti vanga vachisuggesta kuti tadi kushandisa maranzi. Saka vari kuti hanzi business community yaramba.
Yeah, but remember they've spent quite a lot of money in printing these bond notes. We are told these bond notes are already in Zimbabwe, remember? And they've spent quite a lot of money here. They're going to lose out, aren't they?
Yeah, but you see, vakaspend money, but the problem there could be ways because and the last thing they take kuti vanhu vatambe Christmas pasina kachekutika nekuti kana let's say ma vendors or munhu neuteka makabata mabhera anotsi enyu and pasina chamunotenga futi. What would be the purpose? Because panofana kunge paine nzira yekuti saka iyo ine mabhondi notsako kuva kuti wakungonotenga muZimbabwe imomo mwende hamuna macho chekuti achona mashopu munenge musisina, so vanozoita sei?
Zvinenge zvakunetsa
zvekuti yes, at least mumashopu mune zvinhu ka vanotemboshandisa card to buy something. Saka kana vane mabhondi notes, there will be nothing there. And the black market thrive zvekuti vanhu vachange vachitengeserwa nereseri nemauser patambira pasina kumbona.
Okay. So you're not happy with that, right? Ndinoda kubvunza iyo mubvunzo wandandi kubvunzwa nevanhu, especially these guys actually vanoteerera chirongwa changu. I must say kuti most of them havateereri live, but now they've got an option of listening on the podcast, especially in Zimbabwe. And Sally are doing a great job. I had feedback there that some people actually have not managed to download our app, but they are getting the show from YouTube. And Sally are doing a great job in posting every show there on YouTube as well. I had a few people actually said that's the avenue that they are using to listen to the show, and they are very happy with that. They can actually download it vari kubasa kwavanokwanisa kuva na Wi-Fi, download it into their gadgets, and then wozoenda kumba they can listen it from home. So I don't know how they work it out, but they do work it out from YouTube. Anyhow,
yes.
It's
very easy to download from YouTube if you know how.
Well, I didn't know that, and actually I didn't want to go into details of it, but these guys were telling me that when I'm at work or when I go into town where there's a hot point of Wi-Fi, I just download it, then I go home and listen to it. And I was wondering, are you crazy? But I didn't go as far as that because I didn't want to make a fool out of myself. But anyhow, they were asking me kuti chimbotiudzaiwo if there's any people per panel paying you to know now tipane a lot of people with lots of knowledge there. What actually is happening with Jono Moyo? They asked me kuti ndikubvunzei. So if there's anyone there who knows what has been happening with Jono Moyo, we just read my newspaper kuti azonzi ari kusungwa. What is actually on earth is going on? And this was pane anyone with information. Chief Sausage, do you know anything about it?
Information yemuzano anyaya kuiwana zvangu nekumhanya. But
Okay.
The truth of the matter is it's all ZANU-PF all over again. They are doing what they are doing, what they do best, just to confuse the people of Zimbabwe. I'm telling you, there are so many people. It's like the issue of Kaskwere. We hear that he is going to be arrested. Kaskwere is finished. Kaskwere is done. Kaskwere will be in jail. But nothing comes out of it. It's the same story with Jono Moyo. They just want us to divert us from the real issues that are affecting the Zimbabwean people, and then focus on their internal fights. This is just another ploy by ZANU-PF, which will not come into anything. Moyo definitely is not going to be arrested. Moyo will not go to jail. Just like many other Zimbabwean ministers who are in there. Because, the truth of the matter is, all those ministers, all those government officials, they are all thieves. They are all in the same boat as Moyo. Nobody is clean. So nobody can really order, nobody can really say Moyo should go to jail. Because even Mugabe himself, he knows that he is not clean. So who is going to arrest who here? Because if Moyo goes, then everyone else should go. So I'm telling you, nothing is going to come out of that. We can hear the newspapers screaming, saying, "Oh, he's going to be arrested," but that's all there is to it. And to us, if we focus on that, it means we are just taking our eyes off the ball and concentrating on Moyo instead of concentrating on our real issue, which is the struggle to free Zimbabwe. We should not read much into that.
Okay. Thank you. That is well said there. Mukoma Wilbert, do you share those sentiments?
No, I don't. I think actually what is happening in ZANU-PF is that the level of corruption has reached a point now where the cup is full and it's overflowing. They cannot bottle it in. They cannot keep it under wraps. There is so much corruption that it's bound to come out. And yes, I agree that they will try to make sure that people like Jonathan Moyo is not arrested and so forth. But there is so much that is leaking now that it is impossible for them to keep it under wraps. ZANU-PF is imploding. And as it implodes, cases like this are what the cracks that start as a whip and then they get bigger and bigger and the whole wall will crack and the flood will flow out. There is no way ZANU-PF is going to keep this under wraps. Corruption is just too much. You do not loot so much money and get away with it. Because the main problem with it is that it encourages those below you to loot as well. And now the looting has reached the point that nothing can possibly function. And even Mugabe will know he can try to suppress the story, but there is a limit to how much he can suppress and get away with it. So there will be some of these big fish are going to be caught in the net. Yes, and that will encourage other big stories to come out as well. But that is part of the ZANU-PF imploding. There's no way they can keep this under wraps forever.
Okay. Thank you so much. Mukoma Tiche, what's your sentiments on this one?
Jonathan Moyo is as guilty as sin.
Right.
But as Mukoma Bavamukutara or Mukoma Soshe clearly said, Andiega, and him being singled out will be unfair. Much as I would like to see a high-profile arrest, singling out Jonathan Moyo is replete with a lot of political humps for ZANU-PF itself. Because he will be able to spin that he has been victimized for whatever reason. As you could see, he was already alleging tribalism, regionalism, and all sorts of things, Gukura, Wundi, Medaras, and so on and so forth. And that will be the end of ZANU-PF. So they will never arrest Jonathan Moyo for things where people like the Minister of Energy were saying, we are all doing it. Why would I be singled out? If you remember, said, why should I be singled out? And he died a natural death. The case just never went anywhere. And the ZAC did not take an active interest that they're trying to do now. So when people say this is a factional fight of ZANU-PF, it just goes to show how deep ZANU-PF has permeated national institutions and contaminated them as well. So as you can see right now, the people of the Ngwena faction within ZANU-PF have controls of the media, that's Herald, etc., and also ZAC, and they are maximizing on that to make sure that people like Jonathan Moyo are quietened down. It's not so much about arresting Jonathan Moyo. It's just about humiliating him and putting him down and calming him down so that he's malleable to them. It is the same way that they do everyone. Mugabe can suddenly come up with saying you're plotting to kill him. It has been done so many times. I don't know why. The script never changes, but we fall for it all the time. So what has happened for the change now, the people that are spinning the script are not the people that are the president. They're the people that are aspiring for the president. So Jonathan Moyo wants to call them successionists, people with unbridled ambition and so on. So in other words, he's appealing to Mugabe to say these people are threatening your position, boss. Because we have said you're one side of power and you die on the throne. And that's what G40 has said. Jonathan Moyo said it openly. Patrick Joao has said it openly. Serbia Kasukwere has said it open. So these are no more, no less, just another fight for succeeding within ZANU-PF.
Within ZANU-PF, okay. I think.
Don't expect Jonathan Moyo to be arrested soon. The hype will go, and then it fizzles out again. That's it.
That's it. Okay. Thank you so much, Mkoma Tish, there for that. Sally, what do you think is going to happen? Any more information that you've got?
You know, I just burst out laughing when I saw it. I've been wondering how they were going to shut Jonathan Moyo up, because he's getting very vocal, okay, and getting very cocksure of himself. And I was wondering how they were going to do it this time. And then that came out and I just burst out laughing. Because it's just to control him. It's just to bring him back into the kneel and bow and scrape and kiss butt line, okay? That's all. Nothing's going to happen. And I love it.
Zimnet Radio.
Number one.
All the scandal and all the hype, and to what lengths they're going to go to bring people back in line, or to destroy them, get rid of them. I mean, it's you know, there's nothing more I can do. I can't cry anymore. I can't get angry anymore. Okay? So now what I do is I just laugh, because it's honestly a clown show. Okay? I mean, if anybody thought Jonathan Moyo was going to get arrested, I feel sorry for you. You seriously haven't been following ZANU-PF for all these years. Okay? Because it's just to bring him back in line again. He got cocksure of himself, and he was opening his mouth about things that maybe he shouldn't have, and he stuck his nose in places where he shouldn't have, which is typical Jonathan Moyo. I mean, he flip-flops and I don't know. So what do? We zonk him on the head, okay, and bring him back in line again. So there we are. That's all it is.
This is all it is. I hope kuti vanhu vakandikumbira kuti ndibvunzewo this question. It looks like everyone is sharing the same sentiment here, that if you think Jonathan Moyo is going to be arrested, hey, good night to you. Sekuru, maswera sei Birmingham?
Manheru, madzokoi, mzukuru.
Muri sei Sekuru?
Wanga kwakadi kuzvibarwe.
Aiwa, akwakuri tea. Nemakorokotoka timu yenyu ndiri kunzwa kuti iri kuhwina zvakaipa Sekuru mazuva anaya. What has changed then?
Iri kudzilakasha.
Kuita dzekutsemura nekutsemura.
Kuita matsemura.
Ndakanzwa kuti the other day makaita mashura ekudya Chelsea, which is unheard of.
Imimi zvamunogara muchitaura zviya zvokuti Arsenal haihitimo, inodonhedzeka netudiki idzi dzinozviti hombe idzi, inokwatsura.
Sekuru, tinofara chose kuva nemupado Sekuru. Ndakanzoone vanhu chimbobvunza iwo tiri kungonzwa marehwa yekunzi Jonathan Moyo azodai. Chii chaizvo chiri kumboitika apa? Saka ndati ndibvunzewo hangu vanhu panapa.
Musati tangisira nguva yedu nechikamiliyoni chinoti chikaisa gumboko chochinja ruvara. Mashewa nyaya Jonathan Moyo hapana yangu akaarestwa. What is the difference? Is nothing. Ivo ndo vanomushandisa kuti ataurire zvimafrezi zvake zvenhema zvokutaura zvokuchirungu chekudzidzira mudonde. Toda zvinhu zvine musoro. Jonathan Moyo haasungwi, haana basa rokusungwa, because even if akasungwa hapana zvinoitika. Akasasungwa zvakangofanana. What you need to understand is that is Jonathan Moyo anotaurisa imegaphone. Saka vanhu vezanu vanogara vakamonita kuti asaramba achingomwaukira, because anofumura pati yavo. Saka kuti munhu ndiye vanomutsvagira tunyaya tukuti anyarare, osvika kuti ndingazonetswa naMugabe. But otherwise haasungiki. Ende neimwe nyaya.
Okay, thank you so much Sekuru for that. Sekuru, munofungeiko imimi nenyaya yemabond notes ari kunzi vanga vari chipata-pata. Hameno meeting yaitwa kuHarare uko nhasi nana Mangunjika wenyama vari kuita finalize. Mukanya wauya neimwe pano kuti vanenge vakuita panic na
ko vangagosaita panic pakuti because munyika muna mari ka iko zvino muzukuru ukatumidzira mari neeco cash bhengi ravo riya rinonzi Chigo bhengi rako rinotobva ratoti ratazviona kuti une mari mufoni wako chivhura akaunti kuita kuti tikupe swipe card katakupa swipe card unoswipa kuti utenge zvaunoda. What does that mean? It means kuti hamuna mari mubhengi macho, saka plastic iyo yaunobuwa kungobuwa chipameso unotora zvinhu mahara kuningiri kushop zvakatengwa nemari. So they cannot but panic and try to bridge that before it explodes right in their faces. But it is still going to explode right into their faces because whatever they do, the problem is the money that they need to import the goods that are required in Zimbabwe is not available and it's not there and they will not get it. So obviously they will rely on this local rubbish for 3-4 months and then it will come back to them again.
Okay, thank you Sekuru munenge mukutaura exactly zvataurwa nevamwe panapa in terms of this bond notes. Really nobody wants them. Mukanya. Yes Mukanya, mune chekutaura here panyaya Jonathan Moyo kana kuti tofambira mberi?
Jono Moyo siyana naye uyu mukomana wezve mafaro. Munhu anokonakirwa zvake uyu haana chekuita, dai vatongosiyana naye. Ishumba isina mazino inongosevhusa pavanenge voda kana vasaidi voti shamwari chimbodai. Iye inozikene.
Yeah.
Andozviziva zviri kuitika saka makamunhu achivhunduka.
Aiwa haana kana kutombovhunduka. Anyway, thank you so much Mukanya for that. Right, kune wachangotibata apo tiri pachirungu akati Men's Corner Show. Tiri kurukura zvedu nyaya dzakati kuti dzinenge dziri kuitika in and around here, dziri kuitika kuZimbabwe on the ground in terms of our political situation there. Tichinzwawo kuti vamwe vanoti kudiwo nenyaya dzatinenge tiri kutaura nezvadzo. Sekuru, muri kuenda here kuLeicester uko mangwana kuri kunzi vana mukoma zvorwadza vanenge vari kutaura? Handisi kuziva kuti vamawarire vazopuwa here visa rekuti vakwanise kusvika ikoko.
Ndanga ndisati ndaziva kuti vanosvika mangwana, asi ndakanga kuti vanosvika mangwana, asi kana vari kuuya ndinosvika ndoda kunoona kuti vanenge vachitaura chii.
Yeah, handisi kuziva vamawarire vakanga vari kunzi visa rinenge ranga ranzi vanyimwa here kuita sei, but understand vamwe varipo vana mukoma Stena.
Stena anenge aripo
nadzamara.
Dzamara haana kusungwa here nhasi, anenge asungwa futi. Apeno pandaverenga kuti Dzamara wasungwa ndikuda ndatadza kuverenga paTwitter.
Sekuru muchangeperwa iyi.
Ndozvandaverenga pamwe ndakuda ndaona paTwitter yeZim Rights kuti ndeyakudhara. Anyway, ndangozviita at a glance. I never concentrated on it because busy. Uyu musikana wokusungwa kuiswa muchitokisi nevarume
Linda.
Yeah.
Right.
Ndiye anenge akamirira tajamuka.
Aha.
Saka kana vauya ivavo ndoda kunoonawo kuti vanozvifambisa sei vanhu because ndo mayouth edu kaiwawo.
And munofunga kuti zvavari kuita izvozvi is good for the cause?
Mayouth ngaasatomboita zvekutamba because mayouth aya akarega kujamuka hapana kwavanosvika vanongoguma vanongopera seisusu tichingotongwa nemunhu asina kuvhoterwa nomunhu. Saka vanotofana kutoramba vakashinga kujamuka kusvika atiza.
No, havasi mayouth seti vajamuka sekuri ndikunzwa kuti nemakudo ajamuka.
Makudo ajamuka chikuti.
Sako. Mukoma tichi muri kuenda. Muri kuenda here kuLeicester kana kuti muri kuenda kuDunstable uko kundoona vanenge vari kutaura. And also on top of that pastor wazopuwa here visa.
Handina kufollowa ndakati batikanei kwanhasi mukoma ndozene dziranga vasati vapiwa hapo. Kasi what I heard ndezvoti Patson nanga ari supposed kunge achiuya. I know kuti Stephen Zoro is already here, so I was thinking I would go to Leicester.
Leicester. Is Leicester near you kana kuti Dunstable mukoma?
Dunstable is near me, but Leicester is double-edged. You know, people first at the central point.
Okay. So it's a central meeting point, and you can see. Isuso tinobva ku north kuno vanhu vane mari uku. Tine chisangana nemi down there pa Leicester. Aha, aiwa. Inenge yakanaka, but muri kuzvikurudzira mukoma tichi zviri kuitwa nana mukoma zorwadza nana Tete Linda izvi nana pastor to keep the fire burning, vachipa one awareness of the situation we are in.
It's part of a whole national movement dealing with the end of the Mugabe era. So some people are getting involved with the end of the Mugabe era. Some are aware that some are actually not aware that we are in this situation because we are all dealing with the prospect that the end of the Mugabe era is coming to an end, and that Mugabe is no longer going to be there. And what kind of Zimbabwe is going to emerge when Mugabe is gone? There's all this excitement. Some people are not aware of it. That's what the excitement is about. Think they're just doing their normal activities.
We have listened to better music. We have seen better things. We've been to it all. Zimnet Radio all the way.
To maintain your integrity within my established political parties. There's one display. They belong to political parties as well. But it's a conglomeration where they all converge from their different diverse backgrounds. But the truth of the matter is that you cannot have political change without an institutional political party that is backing you up. So ultimately, all these groups will have to fade into political parties of their own or disintegrate back into their parties unless they decide to establish a political party themselves. And then that will be self-defeating because the whole agenda will be lost. So I'm a bit mixed up about whether to really outwardly support. I think the best word for me is to say I sympathize with their causes. But I think they should just simply join mainstream political parties, MDC or People First or PDP or whatever, but they have to belong to political parties so that when the grand coalitions or come up or whether parties go in singularly, they belong to political parties because that's where political change is going to happen. It's not going to happen on hashtags.
DJ
yes. No, Mkomatichi wauya a very good point there that it is good for these people like Vanastain, but I think maybe it's a high time these guys join political mainstream groups, opposition groups, because really they are politicians fighting political, change. So they should belong to a political party, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I totally agree with you and Mkomatich. In Zimbabwe, we have a political problem, and it will eventually require a political solution. However, we cannot ignore or wish away the rise of social movements. They've filled in a vacuum that had been created by the political parties. I'm not pointing any fingers at political parties, but the truth is, the majority of Zimbabweans are frustrated with the inaction of political parties, so to speak. They feel that political parties could have done so much more. Yes, we in political parties, we feel we have done our best and we are still doing our best. But the citizens of Zimbabwe, I think because of the social and economic problems we are having, they want more. They want the political parties to do more. So there were people who had become disenfranchised, and there are people who had become disappointed with the way political parties were doing things, and some of them were not even taking part in political activities. So you can see the trend when Pastor Mawarire rose up. He invigorated, some people gave energy to some people who were no longer, politically motivated, and they rose up and they come up. Right now, as I'm speaking, there are people whom I'm talking to, there are people who are even helping the struggle, who previously were not involved in any political activity. So the social movements have really contributed greatly. And whatever way Zimbabwe is going to take those social movements, most of them will have to be involved one way or the other. We want the social movements to continue, and I personally feel they are doing a great job, and they should continue to do that. And most citizens should actually go and join them and fight with them. Look at what they are doing on the social media. They are bringing an awareness to the Zimbabwean situation that was never there. Most people didn't even know what is happening in Zimbabwe, that it is happening. The international organizations, EU, United Nations, the Mama regional organizations, they now truly appreciate the Zimbabwean problem because of social media, because of these social movements. Some of them who are even taking them to court, some who are even going there to demonstrate and really articulating the Zimbabwean problem from the point of view of citizens, not political parties. So we encourage Ana Damara Sawarkuita, we encourage Ana Pastor Mawarire, they should continue to do that. This is a struggle for everyone. At the end of the day, all our efforts will come together and they will all mean one thing. They will all mean something. All their efforts and all our efforts as political parties will not be in vain. But the bottom line is, let's continue to fight ZANU-PF from all ends, left, right, and center. ZANU-PF they must not know what is happening. So we encourage everyone who can do it to do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief Sose. Regai ndidaiso ndiende pana mukoma Wilbert navamukanya apo, but ndisandadaro regai timbotengesa kamuchitoro. We'll be back after.
Make the whole world know about your business. Advertise with Zimnet Radio. Email marketing at make the whole world know about your business. Advertise with Zimnet Radio. Email marketing at zimnetradio.com.
This is a disclaimer. The opinions expressed by contributors during radio call-in shows are solely those of the individual callers and do not reflect the opinions of Zimnet Radio, DJs, presenters, managers or administration. Listeners are encouraged and advised to seek the services of qualified professionals for their personal problems.
In touch with the best online station, Zimnet Radio.
It is a Thursday, and you know what that means. It's a men's corner show with yours truly, DJ Sodza.
The ultimate hit music station, Zimnet Radio, blending the hottest audio.
Join DJ Sodza and his informative team live every Thursday at 9 p.m. UK time, discussing Zimbabwean politics. Join DJ Sodza and his informative team live every Thursday at 9 p.m. UK time, discussing Zimbabwean politics.
Zimnet Radio, the people's internet radio station with the people's favorite DJs. Stay tuned.
Iweza wedu we Zimbabwe kuvira kuvata mbezi kusvika papo navakungamiri.
Yes, time catching up to 28 minutes after, gone after the hour of 11, Tilku United Kingdom. Tishiri Pub British summertime. Our time changing in a week and a half, I'm told. GMT, America. Thank you so much for listening, Zimbabwe. Zvisine ndinawo pa right. What is going on there? Mukoma Wilbert.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mukoma Wilbert. What's your take? Are you going kunema speakers vanenge variko vanastani, hopefully pastor vanopuwa visa ravo and to get here as well, and vanatete Linda Masarira who will be speaking, Leicester I think tomorrow, then Dunstable I think on Saturday.
No, actually I've been trying to get some details from some of the people I know. They were not too sure what was happening, and unfortunately this weekend I've already got some other arrangement, but I would have really liked to meet up with them.
Yeah.
I don't know why they had all these problems getting their visa coming out here. It's a pity.
It's a pity.
I don't know. I mean, Mawari, I noticed that there's an article in the Spotlight Zimbabwe saying that he's not here. So I don't know. Is he now here?
No, he's not. He's not. The last time I heard, he's not. He was supposed to come up, but it got problems with visas. But we understand that he was going to appeal the decision. People are saying they will probably give him in the end, but I don't think he's here yet. But anyhow, Mukoma Teach came up with another story there that really, I mean, as much as he sympathize with these guys, can they must join political parties, can they?
No.
No, I'll come to you, Sal, in a minute. Mukoma Wilbert, what's your take on that? Do you think they should, or they should just stay as they are?
I think in this particular case, really, I know some of them already belong to a political party, although they've remained with some of these social media groupings. I think it gives the social media groupings, their own identity, and they can articulate what they want. The problem with structured political parties, particularly in our culture, because let's face it, most of our political parties have adapted the same culture as ZANU-PF, where the only voice that is heard is that of Mugabe and a few others surrounding him, to the point where it has stifled any meaningful debate. So I think these guys staying in the social media grouping, it's actually healthy for in terms of discussion and different opinion, because we tend to have this. The leaders of the party are the ones who are only heard, and their views is the only one that is heard, and therefore then there is really very little political discourse, which has killed Zimbabwe democratic environment. Because as long as there is no discussion, people are always groping in the dark. And I honestly think with these people, if they stay, they can join the political party, but they can still stay with this flag or whatever it is grouping they have, and travel around the world like they are doing now with this grouping, give their views in this grouping without having to to revert to what is MDC's position on this particular issue. They can give their own position on a particular issue under the flag, this flag or whatever it is. I think that is healthy.
Or Tajamuka and all that. Okay. Thank you so much. Sally, you're not happy with something there. You said that these guys should not affiliate themselves with any political party. They should just stay as they are. But if this is Zimbabwe, come tomorrow and Mugabe is not there, these guys will be nowhere, isn't it?
Look, as far as I'm concerned, okay, I don't look at them as only a Mugabe era group, okay? When you listen to Sten and you listen to Linda and a few others, okay, you realize they almost, well, for me, I look at them as a citizens awareness group, okay? They are really there almost to police the political situation. So the minute that things go wrong, they are there to hold the government or the political party accountable for the wrong that is being done. Okay? The minute they join a political party, they lose all credibility, because then everything that they say is held to, are they talking on behalf of MDC, or are they talking on behalf of People First, or whatever, okay? For me, the political party should get behind them and support them and be very vocal about their support to them. Because these are the guys that are going to keep the political parties on track and the government on track, okay? And they are needed, because not everybody wants to belong to a political party, okay? And if they have somewhere to go where they can discuss anything and everything, okay, on a completely non-political basis, okay, it's going to be a really fantastic grouping for Zimbabweans, okay? I absolutely love the fact that politics isn't coming into this. All right, I'll be very disappointed if I hear that they've joined political things and stuff like that, because then they're becoming a mouthpiece. They are going to lose a certain amount of credibility, and it will always be, are they speaking on behalf of this one or that one or whatever? As they are now, they are speaking on behalf of Zimbabweans, the povo, the street people, okay? So I really want them to stay that way, okay? And I want the political parties to get behind them and support them fully.
Okay. That's well said, Sally. Thank you so much. Mukanya, what's your take on this one?
Zimbabwe inorwadza.
Mukanya, I must say, you look very resigned to something there. What is the problem?
You see, the problem there, Kuti, we are always missing the point.
Yeah.
The end of Mugabe era inotaurwa yakatanga vanhu kubva 2000 vangoti ndorangari vaida kuZimbabwe vamwe vachiti ndakanga ndichida kusenza paUniversity of Zimbabwe. Saka vanhu vachinge encourage vachiti murume uyu akutongodona uyu, saka tiri kunzwa kuti kumba kwake ari kudona anofa manje manje. And that was 2000. Nhasi tine 16 years aripo. And kufa kwemunhu hakuna munhu anoziva, unogona kutofa tese tikamusiya aripo. So the end of Mugabe era hakuna anoziva kuti inopera rini. And my only fear ndeyekuti sometimes vanhu vanombomhanya, takambonzwa tajamuka mudana June tikati zvinhu zvinenge zvakuda kuita, nobva zvaramba futi. Saka ini maonero angu ndekuti regai vambozama vanozama. But handoni kwazviri kuenda zvino. Zvinhu zvakina zvinokuzobva hauzivi kuti vanoda kuita mari here. Vanapasta Mawari vakati avhundutsa vanhu nobva haya nobva atiza nobva aenda kuAmerica nobva atakura nemhuri dzake dzese dzimwe mhuri dzakanga dziriko nobva dzasiyiwa dziriko. I'm very, very concerned about following some of these people. I have a little bit of respect for Zorwaza because Arkwenda Jidzoka and Nalinda. But you see, sometimes vanhu vanogona kukurirwa kuita zvinhu zvisizvo vosara vamutrabule manje vave no my fear.
Do you fear? So so if Mukanya ndichimbokubvunza mubvunzo, I know that you are not you sound resigned. You think kuti Mugabe might have another 20 years. Tichingoti end of an era here. I understand that. Yes, I know. Yes, I understand that Mukanya. But konya yabuda kuti iwo vanazvorwadzawa, do you think kuti they should follow a political party kana kuti ongoramba vachingoita izvozvo zvokuti tajamuka kana kuti my flower, this flower and all that?
Decisions dzavo as citizens, how they want to express themselves. Kana vachida kunopiwawo zvinzvimbo maparties dzimwe maparties ari kutofomwa achiita mari, vanhu vachiita mari vachidya vachitozvipa mabasa. It's all about jobs dzavanokiriyetirana mabasa. Iwo mapolitical kombizao kamara kachichi nekabenzi newhatever. If that's their one, that's fine. They are free to do whatever they want. Saka kana vakaona kuti izvozvo pamwe zvatajamuka zvinoita zvekuita vaite mari, because this is the problem yatanayo muZimbabwe kuti whatever you are doing, you are trying to advance yourself or somebody or your family. Like you see Reverend Mawari Akazi, my family comes first. Not Zimbabwe, his family comes first. Is the first thing he has to worry about. Not about my mother, that's something distant. Wanted to kushandisa vanhu to get whatever they want. This is my concern.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Mukanya, for that. And Babati Kondo is kind of siding with you today, saying that DJ, I remember saying this a long time ago, that all these people are just financial projects. They just want anyone who opposes Mugabe is eating, the maduku anongounganidza vanhu apa kuti Mugabe azodai opuwa kamaru odya zvake zvakambotaurwa zviya as these guys are just money making machines. And Mkomati Kondo has got no sympathy.
What is so zvinorwadza nezvekuti the same people ivava vanouya vachikurepresenta maZimbabwe except like Zorwaza aenda achidzoka vanonge in about few months kana awana opportunity aita mbiri kuNew York kuSouth Africa ari kuita zvinomufadza iye nemhuri yake. Mhuri yaMukanya haina basa iri kubhowera uku. Saka isusu tirina takangoti toita zvemuri hatinambonyepera vanhu, this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna sacrifice something for Zimbabwe. Hai, takangoti toita zvemuri yedu. Asi kushandisa vanhu ini maZimbabwe aona kuti ngari kushandiswa nevanhu kuitira to advance people. Real political, here's the thing. Ivo vana Mugabe vamuri kuona vari kutonga nhasa, these people sacrifice. Vakazoita zvavo whatever zvakati, but vakatosacrifice, vakasungwa, vakaenda kumagere, vakaenda kuMozambique, vakasiya mhuri dzavo, and they sacrifice. They put Zimbabwe first panguva yearmed struggle. And it's so different from ma-activist edu anhasi. Vazorasika havo pamberi ava, vatati varasika, but they really put people's interest first.
Aiwa, Mukanya mataura semunhu mukuru. Regai tinzwe kuna Sekuru.
Yebo.
Muri kuinzwa nyaya iri mudariro iyi.
kuti maactivist social media kana kuti maactivist ari kungoita zvekujamuka
paita two issues now apa pekuti mukoma tichi wauya nenyaya yekuti he sympathizes with these people, but he thinks kuti it's high time they choose a political party that they can follow. I remember imimi muchimbotaurira mumwe muzukuru akauya panapa achitaura achiti haasi kuda kuita haateedzeri zvepolitics dzekuzimbabwe, haadi kuinvolva into politics, but akanga ari kutaura kuti hey, toda kuti mugabazi ubva and all that mukanyatsomudirecta kuti kana uri kutotaura izvozvo you are actually in the political battle. Kana uri kutaura izvozvo you can't say kuti hauzi politics, but mimi do you sympathize nawo kuti havasi kubuda kutaura kuti isi tusapota sabato rekuti they are just saying kuti tajamuka and all that?
inini zvandinofarira panana zvatajamuka nana dzechiflawa ndezvekuti kana vachiita muvhukira wavo ngabe agoni kuziva kuti vane headquarters pakati kana kuti political party iri pakati yaanogona kutumira masoja nemapurisa kunosecha nokuuraya. Saka izvozvo zvinonetsa mapurisa amugabe izvozvo kusecha nokutry kufind out kuti ndiani uri kuita what in those organizations, whereas in a political party anenge achitoziva kuti wacho ndinhingi unoita zvakati weorganization ndinhingi ndo vanotanga kunotswanya musoro iwavo. Zvino ava vanenge vari maloose leaders, anonzi ma-informal leaders vanongolida from nowhere, vakabvisa wani umwe unenge atovapo mangwana akutolida futi in the same man yanga achingoita mwe wacho. Havana mapositions are defined, but then the issue is how are they going to become effective in the event that government just decides yes tomorrow we are going to hold elections because this thing we cannot contain it, this tajamuka thing, we want them to elect somebody whom they think he will do what they want. How are they going to replace the government now? This is where Teach is right, and he is saying they must be informal political structures because they can't contest elections as independents and they hope to win. What is it? They may be useful as a pressure movement. They may not be as useful when it comes to a practical government formation movement, because they have to have formal structures. They've got to have interlinks with other parties, whether they be in Zimbabwe or outside Zimbabwe. They've got to have to become a government. They've got to have some political clout, some political non-structure, which they don't have at the moment. They may have it, but they may belong to other political parties. I know for definite that there are quite a number of them who belong to the MDC, and there are quite a number of them who belong to PDP, and there are quite a number of them who belong to ZIMPF. I know for certain about that.
You know for certain about that. But they are not coming clean, and you'd like them to come clean?
No, the issue is, what are they doing? If they are doing it on behalf of the party, they go to the party structures. If they are doing on behalf of their movement, they don't have to consult the party. But as is always the case, because you are a party member, it's highly unlikely that you will move into social activism without your party knowing what you are doing. Because in the ultimate, if you are found with a party card or you found to be a party member, the party will then be blamed for allowing you to demonstrate in that manner. So, whichever the way they do it, the good thing is these are not in conflict with the opposition parties. These are complementary to the opposition parties.
Right. So, Sekuru, do you sympathize nevanhu varikuti some of them it's a kind of money making machine. If I may ask you Sekuru kuti ndiani kwanobhadhara mari dzekuti vana, let's say I'm picking on someone here, like wakaita satete Linda masarira kuti vauye kuno vazoite speaker on these platforms kuno ku UK. Who has paid this money? Who is financing?
We donate vanhu vanoda kudonata. Kunongoitwa ina people donate.
Right.
So really speaking, the issue iri papa ndeyekuda, so in any struggle pane vamwe vanhu vatinofarira zvikuru vanonzi mapessimists. Vanhu ivavo ukatovada zvikuru ivavo, koita vamwe vanhu vovatoziva kuti politics vamwe vanhu havadi zvokuva mapessimists vari optimistic about everything. Tinovada futi vavo. Koita zvekuti any development ine vanhu vanoita magroups vanotanga kuti pane ma-early adopters, koita malaggards, koita madissuaders vanotodissuada kuti musazviita izvozvo zvinourayisa. So, in as far as I'm concerned, those people were saying we don't want to. Those people were saying we make a marry, we don't want them, they are cheating people. In any as far as I'm concerned, that's their own opinion. But surely, if politicians and activists were going to listen to that, there would be no political party or no activist. NGO or whatever, activism, political activism. The idea is these people, they can shout as much as they want. They are trying to encourage us to do certain things for them because so whatever they are saying, let the people who are leading this thing take courage from the fact that they have already gained the attention of this person
24/7.
so that they can now they can do something that the person can see by their own eyes and start believing it. So as far as I'm concerned, these people are not in money making venture. I don't understand what kind of an activity is not a group activity is not a money making venture. Every group activity is intended to make money. So, if any group doesn't make money, then it will not be there in a very short space of time. As far as I'm concerned, I have got no problems with them making money through the activism. If they make money through the activism, that's fine. What is the problem with that? What would be wrong is if they are not being involved in activism and they are stealing like Yanamakandiwa. This is not one problem, Anamagaya.
Okay, thank you so much, Sekuru. Kune varikundinyorera kuno hanzi, if these people cannot contest the public offices, then they are just spoilers. And vamwe varikutinyorera kuno kuma studios. Zvisinei, Sally?
Yes, DJ Sodza.
Yeah, Sally, you are very concerned about Linda, and Linda is out now, and she's now flying out and all that kind of stuff. You must be very happy with the situation.
I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, for years, okay, the only thing that's come out of Zimbabwe is talk. Okay, with very little substantial backing. Okay. NDC will give examples, there'll be pictures, a few pictures, there'll be little stories, and then it dies. Okay? These guys, Stan, Linda, and Promise, and the Zamada brother, okay? These four guys, well, especially three of them, all right, Stan and Promise and Linda, have decided that the country and the people come first, no matter what. They have single-handedly brought things onto the international market, the international scene, okay? It started off with Stan, very, very quietly, okay, then it got a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and then along came old pastor, okay, and then it all blew up. And then Sten and Linda and them carried on when the pastor, whatever he did what he did, okay? But they've carried on. So every time they leave the country and they go onto the international scene, it's another nail in the coffin for ZANU-PF and Mugabe. Okay? And they are keeping the Zimbabwe situation current. And they are live, flesh and blood.
We have listened to better music. We have seen better things. We've been to it all.
It's not
Zimnet
through a
Radio
news
all the
media
way.
or a paper or whatever. It is live, breathing people that are telling the Zimbabwean story, the on-the-ground story, okay? And for me, that is absolutely brilliant. I mean, Baba Chikonda, please. I lost all thing for him when he turned around and he said, we are the ones that are putting Zimbabwe into disrepute. Sunshine, sweetheart. Mugabe did that long time ago. Okay? So, what he says, I take with a pinch of salt and I throw it as far as I can away from me. Because it's just a load of Okay?
Okay.
These people are doing a job that he won't do. Okay? These are ordinary people from the streets. I mean, Stenzo Woods and I have got something in common. We're both not highly educated people. But look what he's done against all odds. I mean, come on. What if he makes some money out of it? Okay, they've got posters that they need to print. They've got T-shirts they need to print. They've got speaking venues that they invited to that need money for that. I mean, seriously, really, Baba Chikonda, if you've got nothing else to say, sweetheart, go back to sleeping.
Oh, okay, Baba Chikonda is right here. Baba Chikonda, you have heard what Sally has to say there. Not very happy with you. These people are doing this for a cause. They are not money-making machine and all that. You want to respond to that?
Yes. How are you, DJ?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, Sally. You're becoming emotional about the whole issue.
Hey, Sunshine, don't you step on my toes with emotionality, okay? I am emotional from top to bottom, okay? You get off my back about this emotional thing. You're trying to discredit everything I say by saying, you're emotional. Yes, sweetheart, I am. Sally is the name for emotion. Okay? You don't like it, step away, darling. Don't accuse me of being emotional. Try and discredit everything I say because I'm emotional. Damn, I am.
Okay, thanks for confirming that. Right. What basically I'm saying here, DJ, am I still online?
Yes, you're online. Yeah, go ahead.
What I'm simply saying here is that politics, we need strategy, right? And the strategy here is to make sure that we have got a very strong opposition that can step in should Mugabe, leave the office, either through elections or, by the will of God. And the more people we have making noise on the sidelines, it dilutes the power of specific opposition. In this case, I'm talking about MDC, Changirai, to be specific. I would, maybe this is going to surprise a lot of people, I would perhaps be very happy if people are not disillusioned by MDCT and maybe be empowered through a renewal process whereby MDC ideologies and everything else, are aligned towards fighting ZANU-PF, taking a bull by its horn. All these other guys, for example, Zorwaza, he has been politically affiliated to MDC. It's common knowledge. Kanata Kutizoni, he is a standalone. He's an MDC member. But they don't want to be aligned to the MDC simply because they don't want to be associated by perhaps, that tag, incompetence. And this is why maybe here I'm so much against MDC. Because MDC is failing to renew itself. Right now, Mujuru, and all these other people. If the opposition comes together, MDC is the largest, biggest party here, opposition. And we are relying on them. But Ivar Kutitil Changrai, as long as Changrai is there, when Changoramba is disillusioned, and this is another Kondo Changoramba say Chingo attack, because this is Changrai Anaquano Chora, Achitended. Changora opposition is strong. Once you get the opposition is strong, we have got one voice and we fight Mugabe. And surely we can win. But as long as Syria all treated like what it is at the moment, that's why you end up having pastors, who preach for 2 weeks. And the next thing, they are living in America, and Babadi Kondo says this is a mad project. Then people are saying, no, he's crazy. I'm not. I'm just being realistic. But we're taking advantage of the people.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, Babadi Kondo, thank you so much for that. Later, Zimbabwe.
Babadi Kondo anogara achingowataka ma-political leaders. Havasi kuti ma-political leaders ane defenders. Ivo Pachawa Babadi cannot do anything. He cannot lead. All he can do is attack. And he produces nothing out of those attacks.
I'm not speaking. Look here. I'm not speaking a public office, Sekuru. And this is. But in India, once you come out in the open and say you are a politician, this is what you stand for. Then what of them game?
Iwewe uri kuti uri muopposition iwewe.
Yes.
Asi kunyepa hako uri kuti nyepera. Uri kuti uri muopposition uri chinyepera. What you are here therefore is to dissuade my opposition parties from doing their programs.
I mean, you see, things, I like it because Sekuruga was Tindura, and it gives me the opportunity of Nyasetola. You see, Sekuruga, I know you are your MPC Changrai through and through, that's fine. But Ndrukutaura Putika, Kana, Kita knows the trend analysis. So nice to leader where do you Hanakwar Kutendesa. Look at what is happening in Kuleba right now. And this is, we should have the opportunity to change and renew and give other people a chance. Sinamuzuri right now aka point for vice president. And Dinachandakambuzwa anything else. Actually the party is polarized. Simply because Vakataura anything else against the leader or something like that, then they'll be paid. This is why Zambia in a field. This is why Zambia in a field day. This is why Zambia in a field day.
The problem you have got, they put the politics in Zagoga. Because unofunga kuti a leader make way for another leader. No, it is the opposition members that choose their leader.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say.
Listen, can I worry opposition member? Choose your leader. Can I lead?
But we are living in a democratic country right now, in UK. Munoona munhu akadzingwa election is humble enough kuti varumeka inini pangu papera chipaiwo mumwe matomu. A leader who cannot do that are opposition is just a dictator. Is that the same as Mugabe watukira kubvisa?
Right.
And why are you defending him? And you can't
ndopa usinganzwisisi manje kuti unongoda kutora chinhu chakagadzirwa nevamwe wongodzimikira mumba mako. You have got the circumstances. Let me tell you, Britain was not like that. Yakabva kufeudalism kusvika yadevelopa that system to perfect its own situation. To fit ndiri kuti Zimbabwe ine problem iri different from the UK. Inofana kutevedzera gwara rayo rekumake its own history and tell it like it is.
Thank you, Sekuru.
Iwewe uri kuda kuti vadzure from Britain vagosvika ungoti dziku Zimbabwe. Azviiti izvozvo.
Okay, regaini kubate muromo.
Can I say something? DJ, can I say something? Sorry, my apologies. Thank you very much, Sekuru. Saka kana zvakadaroka, then the status quo, saka Mugabe ari right. You have actually said saka Mugabe zvaari kuita according to Zimbabwean standards zviri right. Because yes. Democracy. Saka that's fine. If that is the case, then that's fine.
What you don't know is that in Britain that was happening as well. And then they decided, no, we cannot tolerate it anymore.
I want to go to that.
But you go to build it up. You don't just move up from one or the other critical mass.
Thank you so much, Zimbabwe. Isusu basa tasiya tapedza tosangana musi wechina chinotevera. Right.
Can I just say something quickly?
Time yangu akumana.
Just 2 minutes, just 2 seconds. I just want to apologize for losing it on air. Okay? I'm sorry about that, and yes, I am emotional, and if you don't like that, do me a favor, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
There is nothing to apologize for, Sally. You was condescending. If he treats you like a condescending manner, you are perfectly entitled to respond likewise.
and sorry, Sally, don't worry. I put it.
No, leave me alone. I don't want to hear
that. I can accept that.
Right, DJ Mowika will be taking over vachikupa ichirongwa chao kache the listener's choice. Tosangana musi wechina chinotevera. Have a wonderful week.